You want to know what makes a man lie awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, thinking only about you? It's not your looks, it's not your body. It's something far more unexpected. It's what you say. Say these 3 compliments the right way, and you'll take up real estate in his mind all night long. And I'll tell you exactly how to do it right now. Most women think compliments are just a quick way to boost a guy's ego. But the truth is, men are starved for recognition in ways they don't even realize. The average guy might hear "you're handsome" once a month, if he's lucky. But when a woman says something that touches his identity, something that hints she sees more than the surface, it short-circuits his brain, in the best way. He doesn't just remember it, he replays it, and that replay can turn into fantasy. Now here's what most people miss. Complimenting a man isn't about flattery, it's about impact. And impact comes from depth and timing. Before I give you the first compliment, if you want more ways to be unforgettable in a man's heart and mind, make sure you stick with me until the end. These 3 phrases are subtle, powerful, and they work, if you know how to use them. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share something important about how strong words can be. The right words can lift someone's spirits, change how they feel in an instant, and even make them think about you long after you're gone. Especially with men, there are just 3 compliments. Yes, only 3, that can have him thinking about you all night. Let me remind you again how powerful words truly are. When said at the perfect moment, words can shift everything. They can lift a mood, spark a feeling, or stay stuck in someone's thoughts long after the moment has passed. And when it comes to men, there's one compliment, just one simple and strong sentence that can have a deep effect. I feel so safe when I'm with you. At first it might sound like a sweet line, but I promise you, it's more than just that. It's not simply a compliment. It's a message of trust, of being open, and of real connection. When a man hears this from you, it reaches far beyond attraction. It touches something in his core. A man naturally wants to be someone who protects. He wants to feel like the people he cares for are comfortable and secure when they're with him. And this isn't just about being strong physically. It's about being steady, dependable, and giving off the feeling that no matter what goes wrong in the world, he's capable of handling it. And when you point that out, when you call attention to that part of him, it fuels his sense of meaning. Think about this. Men carry a lot of pressure. They're expected to be tough, fearless, supportive, and calm, even in hard times. And most of the time, they try to meet those expectations without asking for praise. But deep down, they need it. They need to hear that their efforts are seen, that who they are really matters. When you say, I feel so safe when I'm with you, you're giving him something rare. You're speaking to a part of him that doesn't get noticed very often. Most compliments men receive stay on the surface. You're handsome, you're funny, you're smart. And while those are nice, they don't always sink in. They don't always reach the heart. But saying that he makes you feel safe, that's meaningful. That goes deeper. It's personal. Because safety isn't only about physical protection, it's about feeling calm emotionally too. When you say this, you're not only saying you trust him with your safety, you're also telling him you feel secure with your emotions around him. That when you're next to him, you can let your guard down, breathe easy, and just be yourself without fear. And that, my friends, is powerful. Let's not forget, it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Your delivery matters. When you say, I feel so safe when I'm with you, let it come from the heart. Say it in a moment that actually means something. Maybe he instinctively puts his arm around you in a busy place. Maybe he offers his jacket when you're cold, without needing to be asked. Maybe he listens to you carefully, gives thoughtful advice, and makes you feel truly heard. Those are the moments, and when they happen, don't just say the words. Let him feel them. Look into his eyes, use a calm, sincere tone, and then just watch what happens next. You'll notice it in his face, in how he stands, how his expression changes. You'll see those words reach into him and light something up. He'll feel proud, understood, even seen in a way that's rare. And here's something you might not expect. When a man feels that kind of recognition, it sticks with him. Long after the night ends and the day moves on, those words won't leave him. They'll echo in his mind, and when he's lying in bed later, staring at the ceiling, you'll be the one he thinks about, not in passing, in a way that has him craving your energy, replaying the sound of your voice, reliving how you made him feel. Because as much as men don't always say it, they want that kind of bond too. They want to be noticed, to feel needed, to know they matter. And when you offer that, they hold on to it. So always remember, words have incredible power, but only when they come from a true place. Speak with honesty. Don't say something you don't mean, because when a compliment isn't real, it doesn't do anything. But when it is real, when it comes straight from your heart, it stays unforgettable. The next time you're with a man who matters to you, take notice. Look for those small actions, when he does something thoughtful, when he protects you without trying to show off, when he makes you feel calm just by being there. And when you notice that, look at him, give a little smile and say those words. I feel so safe when I'm with you. Then pause and see what happens. Watch his reaction. That connection you spark in that moment will grow stronger. It becomes a memory he holds on to. Now let's talk about another compliment that hits deeply. There's something amazing about being seen for who you truly are. Not just your looks, not just your actions, but how your mind works. When you tell a man, I love the way you think, you're touching a part of him that people often overlook. You're going past the surface and stepping into his inner world. And that, my friends, is something special. Because while men are used to being complimented for being strong, good-looking, or funny, they don't often hear praise about their thoughts, about their mind. What about the way he breaks down a situation, or how he finds creative solutions, or how he sees things differently from others? Those parts of a man's personality are rarely noticed, but they matter so much. And when you highlight those traits, when you say, I love the way you think, you're telling him you notice the things that make him stand out. You're not just complimenting him, you're validating. Remember, men, like everyone, have their own doubts. They sometimes wonder if people truly care about their opinions, if they are respected, if their ideas matter. But instead of saying it out loud, they often keep those feelings inside. They keep going, keep trying, hoping someone sees the effort they put in. Deep inside, they want to feel heard. They want someone to understand them. So picture this. He opens up about something. Maybe it's a project at work, maybe a dream, or just a casual thought about life. Most people might nod and move on. But you pause. You look him in the eye, and you say it, I love the way you think. And just like that, something changes. Suddenly, he's not just talking, he feels noticed. And that feeling, that's something he won't forget. That's how you stand out. It's not flattery. It's not about saying things just to get attention. It's about giving him a moment of truth. A moment that says, I see you. I understand you. I appreciate you. It's about truly appreciating him. It's about seeing beyond his looks or what he does for you and really noticing who he is deep down. And the amazing thing about this compliment is how many ways it can apply. Maybe he's someone who thinks deeply, always analyzing things and seeing the world differently. Maybe he's the type who can handle problems calmly, finding order in chaos. Or maybe he's a big dreamer, someone who imagines a future larger than the present moment. Whatever it is, when you see that, when you genuinely value it, he will remember you. He won't forget that feeling. Now, let's talk about how you give this compliment. Because how you say it is just as important as what you say. You don't just drop this line casually. You don't toss it out like a random comment. You wait for the moment when it really counts. Maybe you're having a deep talk and he's sharing something personal. Maybe he's telling you about his goals, what excites him, or what he hopes to build. Maybe he just solved a tricky problem with clever thinking. That's when you stop for a second, look him in the eyes and say it with full honesty. I love the way you think. And then just give him a moment to absorb that. Let him feel it fully. Let him process that someone who matters sees him in a way most people don't. And you know what happens next? He starts to think about you. That moment plays again in his head. He wonders why it meant so much to hear that from you. And from then on, your words linger in his mind. They stay with him. Because compliments like this aren't just statements. They're experiences. They're a moment of real connection, a sign that someone truly understands. And when a man feels that, when he realizes you see him not just for his looks but for his thoughts, he won't just think of you tonight. He'll keep thinking about you long after. So the next time you're with a man who fascinates you with how he sees the world, don't keep it to yourself. Tell him. Let him know. Give him that rare and meaningful gift. Because when you say, "I love the way you think," you're giving him something strong, something unforgettable. There's something incredible about making someone feel special. Not because of what they do or what they can offer, but simply because of who they are. And when you say to a man, "You make me feel so special," you're giving him something he might not even know he's been longing for. You're letting him know that who he is, how he treats you, how he's present with you, makes a difference. And that is the kind of compliment that sticks with him long after it's said. Us. See, men are often expected to be strong, to take charge, to fix what's broken. They're expected to be the rock, the provider, the one who holds everything together. And many of them live that way every single day, without stopping to ask if anyone even notices. But deep down, they want to feel like it matters. They want to feel that their actions are seen, that who they are is meaningful, not just what they do. And that's why this compliment carries weight. When you tell him, "You make me feel so special," you're saying more than thank you. You're telling him that his presence alone, his time, his care, his energy, makes you feel loved, makes you feel like you matter. And when a man hears that, it changes the way he sees himself. Let's take a moment to really think about what it means to feel special. It's not about huge displays. It's not about big surprises or fancy plans. It's about the little things. It's the way he listens to you without checking his phone. The way he remembers something you said weeks ago. The way he makes you feel like you're the only one in the room. Maybe it's in the way he smiles when he sees you. Maybe it's how he gently reaches for your hand without needing a reason. Those small, quiet moments, they matter. They stay with you. They shape how you feel about him. And when you take time to say it, to actually tell him, "You make me feel so special," you're giving him something that few others do. You're offering him a kind of recognition that goes beyond everyday praise. You're saying, "Your presence is meaningful to me." And that, my friend, can change everything. Because now he sees his role in your life through your eyes. He starts to understand that even his smallest actions carry weight. And when he realizes that, he's inspired to do more. He wants to keep showing up for you again and again. Because when a man feels like he's truly adding value to your world, he will go above and beyond to protect that feeling. That's how deep connections are formed. That's how love grows into something lasting. Now, timing is important. Don't just say it casually or randomly. Let the moment lead you. Maybe you've just had an honest conversation and he made you feel truly heard. Maybe he went out of his way to make your day smoother. Maybe he gave you a look that made your heart beat a little faster. That's when you stop, you breathe, you look at him with full sincerity and say, "You make me feel so special." And then you pause. Let him feel the full meaning behind your words, and I promise you, he won't forget it. That moment will replay in his mind again and again, because this kind of compliment, it's not just about nice words. It's about creating a moment that hits home. It's about seeing him, really seeing him in a way that most people don't. And when you make a man feel that seen, that appreciated, he won't just be thinking of you tonight. He'll be thinking of you for a long, long time. So the next time you're with someone who shows up for you, who makes you feel like you matter, don't hold that feeling in. Say it. Let him know. Because when you tell a man you make me feel so special, you're offering him a gift he didn't even know he needed, but one he'll never forget. There comes a point in every man's life where he realizes that someone truly sees him, not just for what he does or how he looks, but for who he really is underneath it all. And one of the most powerful things you can say to a man, something that will stay with him long after it's spoken, is this: I admire you. Now let's talk about why this really matters. You see, admiration isn't the same as attraction. It's also not the same as appreciation. Attraction is about wanting someone. Appreciation is about being thankful. But admiration, that's about respect. It's about seeing someone and noticing the things in them that truly inspire you. And for a man, nothing hits deeper than being admired by someone he truly cares about. Men spend a lot of their lives trying to succeed, trying to stay strong, trying to prove their worth in a world that constantly tests them. But no matter how much they achieve, no matter how confident they look on the outside, every man deep inside wonders if he's truly enough, if he's strong enough, smart enough, capable enough. And even if he doesn't say it out loud, he longs for some kind of approval, not in a proud or showy way, but in a very real and human way. He wants to feel that his efforts are noticed, that his character is appreciated, and that the person by his side believes in him. That's why the words, I admire you, are so powerful. Because when you say that to him, you're doing more than just giving him a compliment. You're telling him that he is worthy. Now, what do you admire in him exactly? That's where the compliment becomes meaningful. Maybe it's his work ethic, the way he keeps going no matter what life throws at him. Maybe it's his kindness, the way he treats others with real care and respect. Maybe you admire his strength, not just his body but his inner strength. How he stands up for what he believes in, how he protects the people he loves. Or maybe it's his intelligence, the way his mind works, the way he handles tough situations, the way he holds himself with calm confidence. Whatever it is, when you tell a man I admire you, you're giving him something truly rare, because admiration isn't something people hand out just to be polite. It's something we say when we truly feel it. And when a man hears those words from you, he doesn't just hear something nice. He hears recognition. He hears support. He hears respect. And that sticks with him. Let's talk about how to actually say it. This isn't a compliment you just toss out in a quick moment. It's something that carries meaning. It deserves a real moment. Maybe it's after he shares something personal with you. Maybe about his past, or a challenge he went through. Something that shows who he really is. Maybe it's after he does something that moves you. Not something flashy, but something real. Something that shows you his strength, his honesty, his true character. And in that moment, you pause, you look at him with honesty in your eyes and you say, I admire you. And then you stay quiet for a second. Let him feel it. Let it land. And I promise you he will, because admiration is something men rarely hear. They get praise when they win at something. They get support when they're going through hard times. But admiration, that's a whole other level. It touches deeper. It's a type of acknowledgement that's rare. And because it's rare, it's unforgettable. And here's something important. When a man knows that you truly admire him, he begins to see you differently too. Not just as someone he likes being around, but as someone he deeply values. Someone whose thoughts matter to him. Someone he wants to make proud. Not because he's expected to, but because he genuinely wants to. Because when a man feels admired, when he feels respected, when he knows you see the good in him, he will rise even higher. He will grow into his best self, and he will never forget the person who made him feel that way. So next time you're with a man who impresses you, who moves you, who shows you strength and depth and kindness, don't keep it inside. Say it. Tell him. Let him know. Give him that gift. Because when you say I admire you, you're not just saying some sweet words. you're giving him a kind of power. You're making him feel noticed and valued in a way that stays with him long after that moment is over. And when you do that, you become someone he will never stop thinking about, because the truth is, people remember how you make them feel. And for men, admiration touches a part of them that often goes unnoticed. You're not just telling him he's attractive. You're not just thanking him for something he's done. You're going deeper. You're saying, I see you. I see who you are. And I think it's incredible. That kind of message sticks. That kind of message can live in someone's heart for years. And the beauty of it is, it doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be real. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments in a relationship happen in silence, right after words like those are spoken. He might not say much right away. He might just look at you, maybe smile, maybe nod, or maybe fall quiet for a second. But inside, those words are echoing. Because he's probably never heard that before. Or if he has, maybe he didn't believe it until you said it. And what's even more powerful, when you follow that kind of compliment with consistency, when your actions match your words, when you continue to treat him like someone you respect, someone you truly value, you become a safe space for him. You become someone he wants to open up to, someone he trusts. In today's world, men are often expected to be strong all the time, to hold it together, to keep pushing forward no matter what. And most of them do. But behind all that strength, there's a deep need to be seen for who they are, not just what they can do. When you admire a man not just for his success, but for his heart, for his honesty, for his loyalty, you're giving him something rare. You're giving him a moment where he doesn't have to prove himself. He can just be. And that's when the connection deepens. That's when emotional closeness starts to build. There's something else that happens too. When a man feels admired, it inspires him to give more. He starts wanting to show up for you in bigger ways. He starts thinking more about your needs, your happiness, your dreams. Because admiration creates emotional investment. It makes him feel like you're a team, like you're someone worth building a future with. And this isn't about saying something to manipulate him. It's not about boosting his ego just to get what you want. It's about speaking from the heart. It's about noticing what makes him special and saying it out loud. Because we all need that. We all need someone to believe in us, especially in the moments when we doubt ourselves the most. You might not realize it, but just one sincere compliment can change the way a man sees himself. It can remind him of his own worth. It can give him confidence when he's unsure. It can heal wounds he's never spoken about. And when that compliment comes from someone he respects, someone he cares about, it means even more. That's why it's so important to say it when you feel it. Don't hold back. Don't assume he already knows. Because chances are he doesn't, or maybe he forgot. Maybe the world has been too loud, too demanding, and your voice is the one that cuts through all that noise and reminds him who he really is. Let's be honest, relationships aren't built on big moments alone. They're built in the little things, the quiet encouragement, the kind words, the looks that say, I'm proud of you. Those are the things that hold people together. And when you admire someone, it shows up in how you treat them every day. You'll listen more closely, you'll support them more gently, you'll stand by them not just when things are easy, but when things get hard. And that kind of love, the kind that lifts someone up, that kind of love changes people. So if you're sitting there wondering how to make someone feel deeply connected to you, how to build a bond that goes beyond surface attraction, start with admiration. Look for the good, speak about it, tell him what you see when he's just being himself. Let him know you notice the way he handles pressure, the way he looks out for others, the way he doesn't give up. Let him know that his effort matters, that his values matter, that his presence makes a difference. You don't have to write poetry. You don't have to plan a big speech. Just speak honestly, speak from your heart. And if you're scared, if it feels a little vulnerable, that's okay. Vulnerability is where the magic happens. That's where real connection begins. Because when you open up, when you take the risk to say something meaningful, you create space for something deeper to grow. You create a moment he'll never forget. And maybe, just maybe, that moment becomes the beginning of something beautiful. A connection rooted not just in desire or fun or comfort, but in respect, in admiration, in something lasting. So the next time you're with someone who moves you, who stands out, who makes you think, wow, he's amazing, don't let that thought stay in your head. Say it, let him hear it, give him the gift of those 3 powerful words, I admire you. Not just because it will make his day, but because it could change the way he sees himself. And in doing that, you might just become someone unforgettable. Someone who makes him feel seen, respected, and truly valued. Not for what he does, but for who he is. And that, in the end, is what makes love grow. That's what builds bonds that last.